That I'm not eating chocolate cake. I'm lying. Meaning chocolate cake. And there is no way I'm filming this on a Sunday. Welcome back to the channel, everyone, and I am incredibly sorry if I sound a bit weird today. I'm just struggling with a bit of a sniffly nose. I've just got some hay fever going on. I would just like to, before I begin, it's not as if I'm filming this on a Sunday. Would I do that? That is so unprofessional. I'm filming this on a Sunday. Just before I get into it, I would just like to sort of give you a little bit of an overview. I've just finished my first week of work. Wow. Woo! I mean, I absolutely love the company I work for, and I don't want anyone to get that wrong. That's not it. It's just a lot to take in, and a first week of work anywhere is very difficult, and commuting has been interesting, to say the least. So I thought what I'd do today is just take you guys through just a very basic few things that I've learnt from moving countries, etc, etc. Obviously, as my knowledge expands, I will try and sort of expand on this video, so maybe do a part 2, part 3. If you do have any questions, however, and things that I don't cover today for whatever reason, please don't hesitate to just either leave me a comment in the comment section below, or just let me know via any other social media. They're all linked below. It would mean the absolute world to me if you went and gave me a little bit of a follow. What is a little bit of a follow? Go and give me a follow, please. Instagram is probably where I'm most active, and then the rest of them probably even. So I was gonna actually originally do this as a blog post, but then I decided maybe it would make more sense to do it as a YouTube video, and then I'll also do it as a blog post. So yeah, that is why this is this video. What? Moving. Obviously I moved from Joburg, where I had a car, yeah, so it's a very different system over here. So before we get into it, I would also like to just thank Jennifer Sue and One Aldwych, the hotel, for having me and obviously Jen last night for high tea, drinks and stuff, and it was absolutely lovely. 100% do recommend that hotel. The staff are amazing. So I just wanted to put it out there that it is awesome. They also have virtual reality cocktails, and I will link Jen's clip either here. I will do a blog post, so I will link that. I will link her clip, probably if it's on YouTube I'll link it on YouTube, in the description box below. Otherwise I'll link it on the blog page. Alright, let's get on with this. Before I do though, you know when they say how what you don't know can't hurt you? Well, I'm so glad that you guys are watching this through my camera, which is like over there, and I've centered perfectly-ish to like block out what the rest of this room looks like, because I'm not going to lie to you. On the other side of the bed there's just stuff, because I've been sorting through my handbag and stuff from the weekend. So it's a bit crazy, and yeah, if you do see a glimpse of any rubbish, there's none there, it's your imagination. Okay, let's go. So I've just written a few like little bullet points that I thought I'd go through. Also, could someone please explain to me why the iPad Pro is magnetic here? Could anyone explain that to me? What is that? Anyway, it's a bit dirty, isn't it? Right, let's go for this. So the first thing I really wanted to mention is that it's very hard. People will tell you it's hard. You'll think, it can't be that hard. It's very hard. And it really doesn't matter how strong you are as a person. You will have off days. You will have great days. You will have days where you literally feel like, ha, nothing is going wrong. And you know what, that's great, and make sure you treasure those days. But when you do feel down, if you do feel down even the next day after that, just try and reach back to your memories where things really did go well, and just try not dwell on the bad days, because they'll be there. But it's most important that you do whatever you need to do. One of the things that I've really learnt to do is meditate a lot. I meditate on the train often. I meditate every night before I go to bed. Well, I mean in bed, so before I go to sleep. And then I also meditate in the morning, so I get up a bit earlier and I turn on my meditation, my favourite morning meditation app, and I will... so in the morning I will meditate. My favourite morning meditation is with Simple Habit. I will link their app down below if you would like to pick that up. It is free. You can pay for other meditations within Simple Habit, but yeah, that's a really good one. And my nighttime meditation of choice is the Sleep Well app, followed by, if I'm still struggling, because I find where I'm staying right now very quiet compared to Joburg and Randburg and where I was living before. So I really struggle with the lack of noise. I know that sounds silly, but I use the Relax Meditation app, which is where you can literally just choose sounds. I'll probably just pop those app icons on the screen and then link them below if you are interested in that. Of course, Spotify also has some amazing meditations, so if you want to go through Spotify, you can too. Then on to the next thing. More than likely in the beginning you'll have to commute, and the commute makes your day so much longer. At a minimum, like, my day is 9 to 5, but my day is not 9 to 5. My day starts at 5 when I get up. Sometimes I get up earlier than that. My day starts at 5 and I usually only get home at about 7:45. Then I eat dinner, have a glass of wine, FaceTime my parents, we catch up. I usually eat dinner and they watch me eat dinner and we chat while I do that because it saves time. So definitely, you know, make note of that your days will be ridiculously long. You know, you'll probably add on a good 2 hours on either side, especially if you need to commute using the bus service as well, and also if you have to do it on foot. You'll be poor for the first few months, and that's okay. You'll want nice things. You can't always have nice things. That's life. So the best thing to do is to just get to grips with it and realise that for the first few months, if you do want things, you'll need to be shopping on sale, and I would recommend no less than £1,000 for the first month, even with living with someone where you're not paying rent, and that's if you get a job within a month. I would also just like to take this quick opportunity to thank my parents. Obviously there's not enough thank yous in the world I could say, you know, give them, because they have been absolutely invaluable. I'm still allowed to use the credit card. I'm still, you know, I'm still sort of reliant on them, and I'm hugely emotionally reliant on them. So I would really like to thank them for that. Thank them for their support, and they're just constantly there. If I can make a suggestion, it would be to start a WhatsApp group with your family if you're very close, so that you can chat all the time, and so that everyone can see what everyone else is talking about, and it's just much simpler that way. So that would definitely be a suggestion of mine. I do find it easier. They can wish me good morning, we can chat, you know, it's just simple. I'm sorry about the light. Support is absolutely vital. Talking about my parents, there you go. Support is a huge thing. You need as much as you can get, and whenever you get any offers of support or any help that anyone offers you, try and take it, but also realize that you do have to live on your own. You will have to stand on your own 2 feet, and that's difficult, but a really worthwhile lesson to live. a worthwhile lesson to learn. Yeah, probably one of the most vital lessons you'll ever learn is being alone, which is difficult. Adult life is really hard. It's really difficult. When I walk through the door at 7:45, there's no one else in the house because my aunt is often out. She's often, she leads her own life. She's often out for dinner with her friends. She's often, whatever she's doing. And it's really difficult to walk through the door at 7:45 at night and then start cooking. You won't want to start cooking at 7:30. Try and have some pre-prepared meals in the freezer. If you do have time over the weekend and you have the inclination, cook some meals up front, then freeze them, because that is one of the greatest things. Please just do remember that if you do eat meat, you can't have it frozen. You can't cook, freeze, reheat more than once. And probably ditto for fish. Try and have some backup meals though. Marks and Spencer's do some amazing healthy backup meals, like 3 for £9 in the freezer, in the fridge and freezer department, and they're healthy, they're quick. You need to just pop them in the oven. If you do want to do that, maybe the best thing to do would be to take them out in the morning. That way you don't have to cook from frozen. But if you do end up cooking from frozen, the very longest you'll have to wait for your dinner is probably about 30 minutes, something along there. It's definitely cheaper than eating out, and it's definitely healthier, and you will have the pull to just call Domino's Pizza and get them to deliver one, because you can't be bothered. But try not to do that. Try and make that like a real treat, and try and make sure that you are eating healthily. So try and find a routine. It's shit, but it's necessary. Try and find one that works for you. If you want to meditate in the morning like I do, you need to be awake a little bit earlier in order for you to do that. My alarm is set for 4:50 and I meditate for 10 minutes and then I get up. Sometimes I slip on that a little bit, but try and make sure that you have a time frame that you work within and that you can work well within. The first week is really hard. It's inevitable and tiring, and I never thought I would be one of those people to sleep on the train and then miss my stop. I've been one of those people. I haven't actually missed my stop during the week, but last night when I came home on the train that went to Ashford International, I did actually accidentally miss my stop. Clever. So it happens. If it happens, you just deal with it the best you can. If it's during the day, you can get a train going in the opposite direction and just take it one station or 2 stations or however far you are away. If it is the middle of the night, call a taxi. Call an Uber. It's going to be the simplest and quickest way. Also, something else I've learned, carry a rain jacket. They have really efficient foldable, compact rain jackets at Primark. If memory serves me, it's about like £9 to £12 for one of those, and buy it a size up so you can pop it over your coat if you need to. Yeah, definitely have one of those. If you can, have 2. One that you keep in your desk drawer or something along those lines. Nobody's there to tidy up after you, and that's exceptionally hard. It's difficult to remember, especially when you get up in the morning and you're exceptionally tired, which I certainly was on Friday. It's difficult to remember to dry the shower, hang towels up, put everything away, leave your room tidy. It's difficult, but it serves you well in the long run, because you don't want to get home and have to start tidying up. That's worse. Inevitably, at some point, you will leave your curling iron / straightener on and only realise when you get home, or you'll have to stress about it the whole day. If you do live completely alone, you will just have to stress about it the whole day. You could possibly go back in your lunch break if you live close enough. If you don't, though, oh well. Just try and learn from your mistakes. Don't do it again. You may be forced to ask Siri how the hell you cook prawns or chicken, and how you know when they're done and how you know when they're cooked. And that's okay. Ask Siri, she's there. Thanks, Apple, by the way, for that, because probably one of the best services ever. In saying that, ask questions about anything and everything. Ask people where they're living, where they're staying, how expensive their rent is, whether they like the area they're staying in. When you're looking for a place to live, you really just need as many people's opinions as you can get, and then you can go and have a look around those areas during the day, maybe on a Saturday if you have some time, and just go and have a walk around, see if you like the area, see, you know, and try and get a grip on that. But asking people is the absolute best way, and it's the best way in work and anything really. If you don't know which train you need to take, ask. If you don't know which underground platform you need to be on, ask. You know, in saying that, for underground platforms, the most useful app I found for that is, it's called London Tube Pro. I will stick the little app thing here as well, so you can see what that looks for, what you're looking for, or what that looks like. If you don't know people, and you probably won't if you move to a new country, definitely won't, you move to a new city, whatever the case may be, if you don't know people, and if you're like me and you don't have a boyfriend or anything either, then you are totally alone. You'll have to just dive in. You have to just initiate conversation with people. It's really hard. It's really difficult. You have to sort of gear yourself up mentally to do that kind of thing. And I know some people do it more naturally than others. I really struggle with that kind of thing, so I'm really not the one to ask for help there. I'm quite shy, but it is definitely easier if you have a glass of Prosecco or something first. I'm not saying you should drink heavily or drink in order to have fun or anything like that, but it does sort of take the edge off a little bit. It's necessary though to meet new people, to find people in your city, to find people that you might want to hang out with. Just do it. Rejection is hard, but it's not the end of the world. Whether it's rejection in relationship, whether it's rejection in a job, if it's rejection in, you know, you go over and talk to a group of people and they're clearly not that interested, well, you know what, they're lost. You're an awesome person, you should know that, and continue, move on, next. Sometimes, occasionally, and almost always by mistake, you can hit the jackpot in terms of a job. I have. My boss is amazing, the people I work with are amazing, I love what I do, and so I was lucky enough to really hit the jackpot kind of in the job that I do. So that is fantastic. But if you don't hit the jackpot first time, don't worry about it. Nothing is forever. If you're not happy in the job that you do end up going for, use it to tide you over and realise that you can leave at any point. Nothing's permanent, so just realise why the job was a mistake. Try and think that through and try and understand why you didn't like it, so that you can avoid making the same mistake again. But other than that, just know you can leave. You don't have to be perfect. In fact, I've yet to meet a perfect person. We all make mistakes, we all screw it up, and you know, sometimes you're late and sometimes you take the wrong train and sometimes you miss your station and you know, you screw up, and that's fine. If the screw up only affects you, then just learn a lesson from it. If it affects someone else, like the people who are working with you and your boss, people at your job, then let them know as soon as you know that you're held up. Let them know, because the earlier they know, the quicker they can do something about it. You'll make mistakes, but you'll learn from them. And I think that mistakes are actually invaluable, because as long as you do use them as learning curves, you realise exactly what you did wrong or what, you know, didn't work for the best, and that leads you to greener pastures, essentially. It's really hard to be away from your family, especially if you're very close to them, but we are so lucky in this day and age. We have things like Skype, like FaceTime, and I FaceTime my parents every single day without fail. We chat, we talk, and it is the one thing that really keeps me afloat. I have actually said this, but if you are close to your parents or your family, anyone, you know, friends in another country, start the WhatsApp group, FaceTime them, call them, whatever you want. Stay in touch over Facebook and Instagram and all sorts of stuff, and make sure that they know what you're up to and you know what they're up to, so that you can keep up those conversations and keep up those relationships, because they're important. And when you do go back, you can meet up with everyone and go, hey, I saw you went to such and such a place, or you did such and such a thing, congratulations. And you know, it looks a lot better. You make an effort to keep in the loop in terms of that. In sort of conclusion, for me, my mum is like my best friend, so I miss her like hell. I miss my dad a lot as well, but my mum and I, we did so much together. And you'll end up being jealous of other mothers and daughters who are clearly able to do things together, but just know that know your cause, know what you are trying to achieve. Realise that and push yourself as hard as you possibly can to do the very best you can. It'll be worth it, long run. Do as much as you can. Do new things and cool things and go places and stretch yourself, and sometimes come home at ridiculous hours of the day. I did that last night. Whoops. Well, you know, life is life. Just carry on. Make sure that you do stay in touch, especially if you have flatmates or relatives who you're staying with, friends. Let them know where you are so they know that you're safe. Also know that National Rail is having a lot of work. So a lot of the undergrounds are under construction at the minute, and a lot of the trains are, you know, they're being refurbished, etc., etc. Make sure you know your train times. When they hand out a booklet, it's probably for a reason. Try and read it. Try and know what you're doing so you don't screw up. Other than that, also I would say try and prepare lunches in advance. I prepare what I'm going to wear the day before and my lunch the day before, so that all I have to do is pick up in the morning. Also, if I'm having cereal, I measure it out. It really helps. Me anyway, so that's what I do. I hope that a few of these things can help you guys, and as I said, if there's anything you'd like to know from me, just send me, well, either drop a comment in the comment section below, or get a hold of me on any of the other social medias, and the lights just changed and whatever. And yeah, I love you guys lots and lots. Please don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you did enjoy it. I love you guys, and I will see you next week. Bye!